Well, another frustra-pointing game for Manchester Storm against Fife Flyers. They take a dirty road win of 4-2, and with assistant coach Eric Neilson just next to us here. Eric, your reaction to that game?
Reaction? You want a reaction? I would say unfortunate loss for the boys tonight. That was a game that stings a little bit more because the majority of the game we actually did outplay Fife. They came in here and they stuck to their game plan for a full 60 minutes. We stuck to our game plan for about 50, and we got away from it for about 10 minutes of the game. They took advantage and they capitalized on their opportunities. We didn't at the end, and like you said, they got a greasy road win. So good thing about this sport is the home and homes. We get back and we get a chance to beat them up there tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, let me just also bring in Simon and Stephen, who were out doing commentary today. One of the key words that seemed to be mentioned was mistakes, simple mistakes that were happening. What did you see that perhaps myself and Eric wouldn't have seen in the stands?
I think there was a lot of turnovers in the neutral zone, which was unfortunate. As Eric said, Fife played an excellent road game. Owen kept him in the game for the first couple of periods, and then one thing I did notice was they had a heavy forecheck, and our defensemen really struggled, I thought, to get out of our own zone, and that transition play from our zone in through the neutral zone. But all credit to Fife. They did what was needed, and I'm sure they'll be delighted, but tomorrow's another day.
Is this quite surprising, Simon, that the fact that Fife did take this win and really dominate the third period?
I wouldn't say it was surprising. They had started off well in the first and second and just stick to their game plan. It's just, like you said, frustra-pointing from a Storm point of view. It'd have been a brilliant game to get a win back after the Sheffield losses, but unfortunately, just didn't happen today. Too many mistakes, and we were just killed on them, really. Fife capitalised on those errors.
I think possibly the most disappointing fact is that Storm got themselves back into the game on a couple of occasions with a quick goal, and then Fife went down the other end and almost scored within a minute, which must just kill the coaches. It must just drive you bonkers.
I mean, Eric, what was the mood in the locker room as you returned after the game?
Yeah, we had a closed-door meeting, just players only, and when that happens, you know that there's something not right going on internally, and we had to correct that and fix that tonight. Us as professional athletes, we have to set the expectation very, very high, night in and night out, and last couple games, we just felt like we're just falling short a little bit. And it's not big changes, it's little subtle changes that have to come within the dressing room, the locker room, the older guys. It starts with, and then it'll trickle down to the young guys, But it was addressed after. We had the closed-door meeting. We had some really good feedback from the players, how they're feeling, what we're feeling on the ice, and what we need to do as a group to change to win hockey games. Not only be in hockey games, first two periods, 1-1, and then obviously gave up in the third, but to get over that hump and actually get the 2 points and win a hockey game, and we're just missing that little tiny bit, and I know we have the group of guys in there that we're going to correct that. We identified it, now we're going to correct it and move forward and win hockey games now is what we need to do.
It's quite a fair journey up to Kirkcaldy tomorrow as the second part of the double header of Manchester Storm and Fife Flyers. Do the kind of journeys up to Scotland, because Manchester Storm are part of the Gardner Conference. We do have to travel across the border to Scotland, a lot more travelling. Does that make a difference?
It does, yeah, for sure it does. I mean, if you hop on a bus and you're going an hour and a half down to Sheffield or Nottingham or Coventry, a couple hours, that's a totally different ballgame than 5 or 6 hours on a bus up to Scotland. So as athletes, we just have to prepare for that. And it's when you get there, you're going to do a little different. You're going to get off the bus. You got to do your warm-up. It's going to take you a little longer to get the body going. What we call as hockey players, get the bus legs out, right? And then just get yourself prepared to play a game. It's not easy back-to-back games, especially when you're traveling 5 or 6 hours the next day. I'd say Fife has the advantage. They're going to go home late, get to sleep in. We're going to be on a bus all day tomorrow. But again, that's the nature of the beast, and that's what we signed up for. It makes the greater the challenge, the greater the response.
You yourself are obviously a player on the roster for Manchester Storm, out injured at the moment.
Am I still on there? Am I still actually on the roster?
I
thought
so.
They might have took me off there because it's been so long since I've actually played a game.
I don't remember what number you are.
Yeah, that's right. I'm actually 29, not 28. 29.
If you were going to be playing tomorrow, how do you kind of go home tonight? You're an experienced player. You're someone who's been through all the turns, the twists of hockey world.
Yeah.
What would you do tonight to prepare yourself for tomorrow?
Johnny said it best, our captain, our leader. He's played longer than I have, and he said it best tonight after in the locker room. He said, boys, tomorrow's another day. When we leave the dressing room tonight, we leave this game here and we move forward. It's because when you start thinking about the negatives, you go home tonight and you're thinking about the game and maybe I should have done this, I should have done that. That gets in the back of your mind, and that's a negative thing. We don't want that. We want to be positive here. We have to be a positive group. We have to feed off the positives tonight that we did, build on that, and improve for tomorrow. So when we leave the dressing room tonight, we leave the game behind. We totally reset the mind, recharge the battery for tomorrow, and tomorrow's a new day. This game never happened tomorrow. But at the same time, saying that gives us a little extra oomph maybe up there tomorrow, because we definitely got to win that. It's a must-win for us tomorrow.
I must say, I always love a bit of PMA, positive mental attitude. I'm just going to come to you guys because next week, the home game, just the one game for Manchester Storm, is Braehead Clam. And they seem to have become a bit of a bogey team for Manchester Storm. A team that almost, well, I certainly dread when they meet. Braehead Clan coming here, we're chasing them for the conference. They seem to have recovered a little bit better in their league run. What are your thoughts?
There's no doubt about it. Braehead Clan are probably the deepest team in our conference. They can roll 4 lines, and at this time of the year, I mean that's critical. You get a smaller roster team like Storm and Fife as well. You got your 3 lines against the 4 lines, and you're playing 2-3 nights in a week. That makes a big difference. And there's a massive month for Storm coming up this month. All Gardner games. One's down, that's right, we move on to the next one. We can't dwell on it, as Eric said.
Absolutely. Anything to add there? Simon, Mr. Positive, Mr. Simon Harris.
Well, like we were saying on comms, we've got so many Gardner Conference games this month. All right, started off a bit shaky, but, no better time than tomorrow against Fife, take it on, and then Braehead. One game at a time, and before we know it, we'll be in February and hopefully further up the table.
I mean, this team on any night can match any team in the league. There's no doubt about that. We've shown it already. So we've got nothing to be scared of with Braehead.
We've seen in games already this season, this team has a hell of a lot of character. When it's beaten down, it just gets straight back up again. So hopefully we'll see that tomorrow as well.
It sounds like a Chumbawamba song, doesn't it? I get knocked down and I get up again. Eric, can you give us an update on when we're going to see you, the Viking Eric Neilson, back on that ice?
We're getting close, Claire. We're getting very close.
Do you know what?
8 weeks, believe it or not.
It feels like The Simpsons. Are we there yet? How much longer?
Are we there yet? And I'm getting sick of answering the question too. Oh, Neilson, when are you going to be back? When are you going to be back? And I appreciate the fans and their support, but I'm ready to say, all right, I'm coming back now. So I know the body is feeling good. I'm close. I'm really close. I need a doctor's approval now. They got to go back in, re-examine the eye. Believe it or not, it's been 8 weeks ago tonight when it actually happened. So 2 months is a long time. I'm back full skating now, having full practices, and just, they're going to have to wear the cage probably for a little bit just to protect that. But I see the doctor, the optometrist this week. I get the confirmation I could be playing as early as next week, but more realistic, it'll be in 2 weeks' time.
Have you missed it?
Have I missed it? Words can't describe, Claire, how much I've missed it. I mean, standing behind the bench and being a coach, I love being a part of the guys and being a part of the group, but it's it's like waking up on Christmas and not having any presents. I can't.
Oh.
Just so disappointing every day, not being able to go out there, especially in games, and try to help my team win. And it's just, I'm ready to get back. It's enough's enough, and I want to get back on the ice and help us win some hockey games.
Join Hockey Night in Manchester, Tuesdays at 8 on Sports Tonight.